So where do you park?
I park on campus, depending on spot availability. Different lots. Most of the time, Brackenridge. But today I lucked out and I got one kind of close, that right near the convo.
Definitely your lucky day for that.
Yeah.
These past couple of weeks, I've been parking around Breckenridge lots 2 and 3, sometimes even further around, I think it's called Barshop, depending on how full the lots are.
Typically at East Campus.
Oh, East Campus. I park there too. Very crowded.
I park over by the rec if I ever park on campus, and I normally can't get a front spot or a spot close to the campus. It's normally closer to the rec.
Yeah, well, we hear that quite a lot around here.
I actually park at the housing resident lots in front of CHAP.
So how long would you say it takes you to park?
If I can get here when I try to get here, it usually takes me maybe 5 minutes. But if I'm late, it could take me anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour.
If I ever park, I normally circle around 10 to 8 times, so maybe like 15, 20 minutes to park.
Is that on a good day or bad day?
That's on a regular day. A good day, somebody will be pulling out of a spot immediately as I'm trying to park.
Oh yeah, we definitely hear that too.
It really just depends because there's not like a lot of parking in front of CHAP, so usually I end up having to park in the far lot that's behind Chisholm, which is behind that lot, because usually those get pretty filled really quickly.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like fun.
It takes me about anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes average, but I'm coming on campus at like prime time at like noon 30. So like that's right when people are like here and not leaving. You know what I mean? Because their classes aren't up until later in the day.
I would definitely say there's good days and bad days.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I spend maybe 20 minutes looking for parking once I get here. I already live half an hour away, so I just got to spend even more time in my car looking. And it's just not a nice way to start off the day. I've got to be aggressive and almost like fighting other cars, trying to get a spot. I see like 7-10 cars around me driving up and down the lots too. It's really hectic.
Oh, I agree.
It's a really hectic way to start the morning.
Definitely aggressive nature. Let's say you're in charge of parking around campus. You know, what are you going to implement that's going to change some of the like congestion that we have?
Maybe the times that certain spots can be taken up and certain spots that can be used, like with the commuter student, because I feel like with commuter we should be able to have more spots and accessible to more spots, considering how much we pay for the parking spot as it is anyway. And I also think that they should also make more spots in certain like empty places that we have, like just full of land and stuff like that.
A lot of like greenery areas.
I actually thought I had a pretty cool idea. What I would do is I would designate a spot maybe near the convo. When people are leaving, they can wait there, and then people can basically come pick them up and take them to their spot, take their spot, and then they get a free ride to their spot. You know, if they're parked in Brackenridge, they got to walk, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They want to ride anyway. Why not give them a ride? Then you can take their spot, and it's a win-win. That's what I've been doing recently. Is I wait for people to leave. I'm like, hey, you leaving? And then I give them a ride to their spot, and that's usually how I've been parking the past couple of days, and it's been working. So,
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I would think, it's time to build up. We have a lot of surface parking and only a few garages, and I think maybe if we start building up on some of those surface parking, that we'll have more parking spaces and more chances for people to park, and also lower that cost of parking in a garage.
Oh yeah, I think everybody's gonna love that, honestly.
Well, I think with the housing parking, the issue is that there's like small lots for so many dorms. I think there's more dorms than there is parking spots. So I think maybe if they do a housing garage just for housing residents, that will help, because one, they're not expanding a lot of parking lot, they're just expanding up, so that way that gives more spots for people with housing.
And I think some cheaper like garage passes would help with that too. Like just help everybody really.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think about this a lot. I think I would incentivize more use of public transportation. I see that this campus is very car dependent, and mostly everyone's just driving by themselves. No one's carpooling. Not a lot of people are using the buses. I know a lot of people that live just across the highway, not even 2 or 3 blocks, and they still use their car. They don't walk. There's not a lot of walking paths or bike friendly paths. I think they could really encourage biking more. Put some bike lanes around here, make it more bike friendly. I know a lot of people like to ride their skateboards already,
I see a lot of bikers and skaters around campus.
or even just more transportation. I know Via was here the other day talking about it, but there's just a lot of pushback, and for whatever reason, I'm coming from Colorado, and the RTD system there is flawless, and also better transportation getting downtown to the downtown campus, because I know it takes 40 minutes, 45 minutes. That's without traffic already on the bus, taking the UTSA bus.
So now once you do park and you're in your spot, you're ready to go to class, how long does it take you to get from your spot to in your chair in class?
Probably 10 to 15 minutes. It's a pretty long walk. Sometimes I can catch the runner. Sometimes it's just way too full.
I guess on average, depending on where I park, probably I would say a good 10 minutes average from to walk to sit down. You know, from walking to your spot to sitting down, I would say 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say that too, man.
Probably takes about 12 minutes roughly. Really depends on like what lot I can find a parking spot in.
Yeah, from Breckenridge Lot 3, it's probably about 15 minutes of walking, which I don't mind. I like just settling with my thoughts, walking into class, but on hot days, it's not fun. Like, it's not a great walk.
If I'm speed walking, 8 to 10 minutes, but if I'm just walking, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, guys. We know you live in housing parking, so what kind of problems do you deal with housing parking, like different from, let's say the garage or commuter?
Well, there's not a lot of parking spots, and then also we don't have I know they're real strict on if you're unloading your groceries, you can't put your emergency lights and just go in there. They make you actually go park in a spot, which makes it hard because if you're just you by yourself and you have a bunch of groceries, you're going across the whole parking lot just to get to your dorm. And there's not visitor parking, so if you have visitors, they're gonna have to pay at their garages and walk across campus just to get to your dorm to hang out or something. That's another big issue, I think.
Yeah, I'm getting a headache just hearing about this stuff, really.
Let's make a change. Let's have a voice.
You heard it first, guys. You heard it first.